Good evening and Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Temple Avat Shalom. I'm Paula Rosoff. I'll be leading you in services tonight, along with our cantorial soloist Allison Rosoff and Joy Katzenguthrie on the piano. We'll start tonight's service with the singing of Shiru Ladonai on page 13 if you have a prayer book.
שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, עזרו ליום Yeshuato, Shiru Ladonai Barachu Shemo, Basrum Liyum Yeshuato, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash. שירו לאדוני כל הארץ.
This time we'd like to invite any women who would like to join us on the bima for the lighting of the Shabbat candles. You could all come up.
Welcome. Hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech
I will now read a prayer for Israel. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. May you bless the soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces and all who stand guard to protect our people. Shield them from all troubles and injury. Help them secure freedom without loss of life for all those held captive by the enemy. May they have strength and courage of heart. Amen. Shalom Aleichem, page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
The Chetzi Kaddish is found on page 26.
Yitkadav, yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'yamad yivrach yurtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yamechon, uv'chayei kol beit Yisrael, bagala, bagala, uv'yizman kariv, v'imaru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach, le'olam ulam meyamaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yiba'ar, v'yiroman, v'yidnasei, v'yidhadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha brichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'ama, v'imaru amen.
Please rise for the Baruch Hu on page 28. reading on page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. And on page 33, wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Open up our eyes.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one, and we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed.
You may be seated. Allison will now chant the Ahavta found on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. דהיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
reading on page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promised land passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Mocha. Hashkivenu prayer is found on page 42, where we ask God for a restful night of sleep.
Guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps and guide my steps and guide my steps. High
my favorite arrangement of Hashkivenu, and thank you for doing it so beautifully. Please rise now for the tefillah portion of our service. Page 46.
Adonai, sifatai tiftaku fi agir tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chazadim Tovim, V'gonei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi Ula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'yava. Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol, Atah Rav laHoshia, Modrit atah. Mechachel Chaim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umechayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umidom elach, melech lemir tumechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lecha chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hakol. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעלוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. We have 3 additional prayers that we say on Shabbat. The first one is on page 55. And this is a blessing for Shabbat. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. On page 56, it's actually 57, we give thanks for prayer. You are with us in our prayer, our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answers to our prayers. There we may find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otacha levadecha b'yirah na'avod. And the last one is thanks. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork. laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulcha na'eh lehodot. Silent prayer. Oh, I have one more.
Say shalom bimromav, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Yasi shalom, yasi shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael. 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 Yasi shalom, yasi shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael.
Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people, forever, for you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael bashalom. In preparation for chanting the Mishaberach prayer, I have the list of people in need of healing this week. Joanne Beeman Fiddleman, Yonatan Reuven Ben Rivka, Charlie Burke, Brad Bliefeld, Tina Bruns, Marie D'Alessandro, Stephen Drenane, Denise Hart, Norman Fiddleman, Harry Fleisch, Mitchell Freifeld, David Friedlander, Jost Grobe, Joyce Holbrook, Jim Howard, Kathy Howard, Susan Caldy, Louis Quall, Irene Lipinski, Ken Mercereau, Arnold Miller, William Miller, Michael Ranzino, Stephanie Ross, Babette Schoenfeld, Carol Spanny, Dennis Schulman, Rabbi Barry Silver, Angie Sermenis, Jeff Stark, Frank Zakola. Are there any other names to add to Mishaberach?
My father, George Stark.
And I'll add Lydia Feinberg and Golan Rottenberg.
Mishaberach avotenu mikol habracha limotenu. May the source of strength who
Thank you. This week's Torah portion is called Parshat Pikudei. It is actually the last parsha in Exodus, so we will be finishing the book of Exodus tonight. I always look online for a Devar Torah. There are so many there from numerous rabbis all over the world, actually, and I'll read a few and pick the one that I feel relates to me and hopefully to all of you. This one tonight was written by Rabbi Menachem Creditor. The closing portion of the book of Exodus focuses on the construction of the portable desert tabernacle, or the tent of meeting, the Mishkan. The final verses read, "When Moses had finished the work, the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the presence of God filled the tabernacle. Moses could not enter the tent of meeting because the cloud had settled upon it, and the presence of the God filled the tabernacle. Over the tabernacle, the cloud of God rested by day, and fire would appear in it by night, in the view of all the house of Israel throughout their journeys. So strange that Moses, after dedicating years to connecting the Israelites to God, can't enter into the very structure he has helped create for that same purpose. And why? Because there isn't room. God's presence is so filling that there just isn't room for everyone. Even Moses, what must it have felt like to be Moses, closed out of the very place he could have received the ultimate validation, the deepest comfort in the face of ongoing hardship and a stiff-necked nation. Consider for a moment the Jewish mystical notion of tzimtzum, contraction. Jewish mysticism teaches that in order to create the world, God needed to not be everywhere and everything. After all, how could anything independent exist if God were everywhere and everything? And so God pulled back, and some of God's self in order to provide physical space and spiritual independence. The infinite had to contract to make room for the finite. Tzimtzum helps address questions regarding free will, suffering, and existence. The same model holds true for human relationships. This author thinks of her precious children. If I hadn't acknowledged the need for parental tzimtzum, restraining myself enough to give them the room to make their own decisions that I might not make nor approve of, I wouldn't have been prepared to have a child. Similarly, when we do not practice tzimtzum and acknowledge the independence of others to act and think on their own, we miss the opportunity to model sacred relationship. A healthy relationship includes tzimtzum and is infused with the obligation to grant each other the right to inhabit their own place in the world. What do we learn from the end of Exodus? That the act of losing one's self in a rapturous sacred moment holds the potential to exclude others, that even the holiest of intentions can disrupt a relationship when mishandled. A brief glimpse ahead to the next book of the Torah might help illuminate the path forward. The very first verse of Leviticus reads, God vayikra, God called to Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting. There is a peculiarity in the way scribes calligraph the word vayikra, called. The letter aleph, the final letter in the biblical Hebrew word vayikra, is traditionally written much smaller than the other letters. One of the explanations of the small aleph is that, originally, the Torah was written without spaces between the words. The aleph became lost between the words. Our small aleph is the result of scribal tzimtzum. The scribes found room to allow a letter to exist. And so, perhaps we might imagine that the tenor of God's call to Moses in Leviticus is the result of God witnessing Moses' inability to connect at the end of Exodus. Perhaps the small aleph is a physical representation of God contracting just a bit, consciously making room for a sacred partner. Tzimtzum is the heart of a mindful, relational Jewish practice. When I recognize the power of someone close to self-determine, my life changes. I become freer. As we read in Psalms, "Please God, for I am your servant, the child of your servant. You have freed me from my chains." The end of Exodus describes God as an inaccessible partner. The beginning of Leviticus describes God's space-giving call. We can glean from this juxtaposition of verses that the deepest intimacy can be simultaneously binding and freeing, that we can learn from each experience to nurture that deepest of connections. Whereas the Exodus journey ends this week with no room for Moses, the small aleph of Leviticus re-invites Moses, and each of us too, into a gift of deepening sacred intimacy. And now it is customary at the conclusion of each of the 5 books of Moses to have the congregation stand and call out, "Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek," which means, be strong, and we will be strong. So let's stand and repeat after me. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Thank you. I'd like to invite now any gentleman in the audience, in the congregation, that would like to come up to open the ark for the Yelenu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, להתיר גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות הרמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You may be seated, although you'll be standing up again very shortly. This is the portion of our service where we remember those loved ones that we have lost. The Kaddish portion of our service. I have a list of yurtzites that I will read now. Marshall Barron, Enrico Behar, Louis Carvalho, Pauline Deinhardt, Sylvia Estulin, Doris Ferguson, Louis Friedman, Hedwig Goldschmidt, Richard E. Harding Jr., Abraham Herbstein, William Jackson, Morris Koenigson, Anna Kasoff, Charlotte Lewis, Michelle Mann, Helen Marco, Marianne Messina, Monroe Pincus, Alan Resnick, Ida Ruthberg, Aaron Sloan, Thalia Sokoloff, Ann Stoser, Harry Weidberg, Morris Weiss, and Ida Wenig. Are there any other names for your site? Anyone else? Okay, please rise as we chant the Kaddish found on page 294. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach v'yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'v'zman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mavorach, La'olam u'le'olmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, Shemei dekudasha barichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, za'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'romav, hu'ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen.
V'imru, 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 Amen. V'imru, 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 Amen.
You may be seated. The Kiddush is found on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pori hakafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, b'yava uv'ratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron le'masei v'reshit, ki hu yom tehila, le'mikrahei kodesh, zecher
I'd like to invite Bill Ross now, one of our directors and the chairperson of our Social Action Committee, to give this week's announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Many thanks to Paula, Allison, and Joy for leading the wonderful Shabbat services tonight. Our tech team of Steve and Sophia back there, and our greeters Melissa, Judy, David Shapiro, and Lillian, actually it was. Ron Gilberg will be leading the service tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. All are welcome. Our congregational Purim Carnival sponsored by the Werner Religious School Brotherhood and Sisterhood will be on Sunday, March 21st. Everyone's invited. It starts at 11 a.m. Listen to the Megillah and enjoy great music, costume parade, and live entertainment. Our Social Action Committee Speaking Up event will be on Thursday, March 28th at 7 p.m. We're having Dr. Danny Rosenkrantz as our speaker from the Brave Space Psychology. She'll speak about inclusive traditions, sharing wisdom and creating an LGBTQ+ affirming Jewish spaces and families. After the service, please join us for a Shabbat Oneg in the social hall. Thank you.
No, you're good. Thank you very much, Bill. Please join Allison and Joy for our last song, Yehiyu Liratzon, page 62. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Have a great week.